the HYPERKIN X91 90 style controller on this episode of Reviews by this guy. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Reviews by this guy. And about a week ago, from Amazon, I got my HYPERKIN X91 90 style controller. I've had this in my watch list and I've looked at it several times and finally just decided I needed to pick this up and see what it was all about. As you can see, it has all the modern controls you'd want in a modern console controller, but it has a 90s style design. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to feel in the hand. This is not your standard ergonomic Xbox 360 or Xbox One controller. Now, it's pretty hard for someone to be a successor to that controller because, let's face it, it's a pretty well designed controller. I'm going to pretty much have a double feature here. I'm going to take this out the box, see what comes in the box, and see how it functions. So let's get this box open. Well, I guess I'm going to use this scissor because I can't find my box cutter. What's new? Nothing is ever around when you need it, including people. And as soon as you open the box, what's the first thing you see? The controller. I don't know if there's anything on the back end of this, but so far I actually like the look of the controller. And no, there's not. Empty box. Pretty much all there is in this box is the HYPERKIN X91 controller. Actually, I like the way this feels. Or maybe not. I mean, it's kind of this controller has a cool design to it. It sort of resembles the SNES controller in its small factor form, but honestly, I think they were claiming that this thing was ergonomic and it's not. I am going to tell you, as of now, it is kind of awkward. There are slots here for your fingers to go in, but it feels very uncomfortable to me as of now, just holding it. If you keep your fingers out of there, it's alright. If you kind of hold it like you would a NES controller, it's not so bad. The placement of the analog sticks doesn't bother me too much. Feels kind of natural. I don't know about these trigger buttons. That feels kind of weird. There's not much to throw or play with these L, B, and RB bumper buttons here. The trigger buttons, they're alright, but they feel kind of squishy. The action buttons are alright. They have a very tactile feel to them. The start, the menu, and the options button, they seem pretty good. I have no issues there. And the D-pad's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. And the analog sticks feel very good. But let's go into what it has, even though I just pretty much said everything. You have two analog sticks. You have a D-pad here. You have your Xbox power button and your option and menu buttons here, and your 4 action buttons, your normal X, Y, A, and B. You also have your right and left bumper and your right and left trigger, and on the bottom it has a headphone jack. It has everything that your Xbox One would need. And it is USB. This is a USB cord. It doesn't tell you on the box how long the cable is, but it looks fairly long. Let me take this off so we can see. As you can see, you have plenty of cord. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess that's about maybe 5 or 6 feet of cord. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. If I happen to find out, I will leave a little message here on the screen. Now, this thing does have, if you can see, it has your old original Xbox connector. Now, I'm not entirely sure if the newer Xbox One controllers have this same thing. If you guys all remember the old Xbox controller where the end of the USB connector used to come off, this is how this one's designed as well. It's back a lot of memories. Used to lose these all the time. Now overall, like I said, controller feels a little uncomfortable to me. But if you keep your index fingers out of the little notches or bumps here, the little indent where they put specifically for your index finger to fit, it might not be all that bad. During gameplay on the Xbox One, I didn't see any issues whatsoever. The controller functioned just like an Xbox One controller. On PC, it functioned just as well as on Steam to play Tumbler.
Driving those Pieros will be heaven.
Well. Now, I just had to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I had to take this, and even though it's rated for the Xbox One, I had to see if it worked on the 360. It did not, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. This controller did not work on the 360. That is an extreme bummer. I was kind of hoping it would, but it didn't. Overall, what's my final thoughts on the HYPERKIN X91 controller? It's not bad. It functions pretty well. It has all the controls you would need in a modern controller. It's versatile. You can use it on your Xbox One. You can use it on your PC. The only issue that I really found was it's not as ergonomic and comfortable as the Xbox controllers. You can definitely look past it, because I definitely look past it. If you're looking for a cool retro 90s style controller you can use on your Xbox One, your PC, I definitely check this out. There's a link in the description down below if you're interested to see what this guy's going for retail, and if you're looking for a little bit more information, please do click that link. If you found the information in this video to be of some sort of value, entertaining, please consider hitting the thumbs up and sharing amongst your friends. And as always, if you're interested to see more from the We Deem channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hey, wait a minute, we're not done. We forgot to talk about the build quality. Well, the HYPERKIN X91 is made of a sturdy plastic. However, it is extremely, extremely light. It almost feels like there's nothing but air in this controller. It is kind of a similar weight to the SNES controller. The buttons are very plasticky. Like I said, the back trigger buttons, they're kind of squishy. They don't have that same feel that the trigger buttons, that same responsive feel that the trigger buttons on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One controller does. The thumbsticks, they feel alright, and the D-pad, it's okay. It's a traditional D-pad. It kind of feels really plasticky, cheap Chinese. But one thing I also want to mention, yes, you guys seen this did not work on the Xbox 360 controller. How unfortunate. The only thing that did work is I was able to hit the X button and it turned the console on, and I got false hope, because when that happened I thought the controller was going to work. I did have my Kinect on, but I've never seen the Kinect interfere with the actual controller. Also, as you've seen in the beginning of this video, I did mention that it didn't feel ergonomic and it felt like it was going to be very uncomfortable during gameplay. Now, you do feel your index fingers up against these trigger button nubs here, but I mean, if you hold the controller a certain way during gameplay, I personally did not really notice it too much. It wasn't all that bad. Now, is this thing going to replace my Xbox One controller? Probably not. I probably will see more usage out of this during PC gaming. I probably will use this on my PC. As far as using it on my Xbox One, it is most definitely not going to replace the Xbox One controller. As I've said before in some of my videos and on reviewsbythisguy.com, I still to this day believe the Xbox 360 and Xbox One controllers are some of the best designed ergonomic controllers. But yeah, I mean, for the price point, I will leave a link in the description down below if you're interested in how much this thing costs. If you want something that you can take from your PC to your Xbox One, it's very versatile. I think it's very worth it. I think it's going to be more worth it for PC gaming, like I said. Well, finally, that's it. Now we're going to conclude this video. Please consider hitting that thumbs up and liking this video. Do share amongst your friends. And as always, if you're interested in more from the We Deem channel, please hit that subscribe button.